Matthew Perry has had a date.
Really?
A much younger woman who looks like Jennifer Aniston.
Yeah, she's got the Rachel hair. He looks wonderful.
Oh,
I know.
my God.
Why is this girl on a date with Matthew Perry? Other than the fact that he's a multi-millionaire.
Is there maybe cash falling out of his pocket and she's just following and
Or
picking
drugs.
it up?
Maybe she needed access to the ECMO machine.
Look, look, he's got...
His hand on her lower back.
He's got his hand on her.
Handles.
She's about almost as far away as his arm can extend, and he still is trying to get his hand on her back. He somehow managed to get some
grossed out.
fingers on her.
She's grossed out by him touching her.
Yeah, she is not snuggling up to him at all.
Oh.
Then look at this picture from behind. Shows his bald spot, which they did on purpose.
Why
and they
can't he
mentioned in the
wash
caption.
his hair?
He looks awful.
His hair looks.
What the hell?
His hair looks like he hasn't washed it in months. Doesn't it look terrible?
He's got love handles. He lives in Hollywood.
And his clothes don't fit. He looks terrible.
Well, maybe he's just walking to another store and then change in that store like he did last time.
I know, that was so funny.
Matthew Perry,
Oh,
on the spot model.
Matt Perry needs new clothes today, so instead of washing the old clothes, he goes to the mall and buys a new outfit.
Look at him there. He looks like Christopher Lloyd.
He does.
He looks like a fat Christopher Lloyd there.
Yeah,
Oh.
his hair is just
Oh, he's got moobs.
Got a great rack. What are you
big
talking
boobs.
about?
You know what? He has a better rack than her. Check it out. Check out her rack. It's not as good as his. It's not. Although her nipples are sharply piercing into her
God, she looks
cotton shirt.
She,
She looks
does
like-
look like Jennifer
doesn't she?
Aniston and Julia
Julia
Roberts
Roberts
together. Yeah.
What a joke that she would be with Matthew Perry. He looks terrible.
Here's the great reporting Radar Online did about Matthew Perry. I think you'll
Oh.
appreciate this.
Oh, no. Loads up on burgers, and I quote, Matthew Perry's friends concerned over actor's recent weight gain.
Jesus, I
Friends
guess.
actor Matthew Perry's unhealthy lifestyle has close pals concerned that he's heading in the wrong direction, sources told RadarOnline.com. Insiders said the famed TV star, 54, has put on more weight and still unwinds from his daily hustle and bustle by puffing on cigarettes, according to a sensational report.
Wow.
Bat plays pickleball, but chain smokes on the way to the courts.
What does he play?
Pickleball. Pickleball. Bat plays pickleball, but chain smokes on the way to the courts and loads up on burgers and fries afterwards, an insider spilled. They noted that Perry has, and I quote, all the right intentions by seeing doctors and trying to deal with any of his ailments, but he still smokes 2 to 3 packs of cigarettes per day.
Okay.
Perry's been spotted with nicotine-stained fingers. That's true.
Yeah, we saw it. Yeah, it looked
Nicotine.
great.
On previous outings, and sources close to the star said his eating habits haven't been much better in recent weeks, despite having, and I quote, a professional trainer and nutritionist at his disposal.
A trainer? Oh, my God.
Oh,
That
it's
guy
at his
must be
disposal.
so mad.
But he's proudly revealed the sitcom sensation, who suffered a near fatal rupture of his colon from his opioid overuse, is still sober, and they're happy to see it amid some setbacks. He's lucky to be alive, one insider said, according to the National Enquirer.
Is he?
But his friends wish he wouldn't tempt fate with all of these unhealthy habits. Oh, boy.
How do you get that chick to go out with him?
Wait, Matthew had something to say.
That's definitely true.
Can you play the cookie jar one?
Oh, it's science fair.
Science fair.
I gotta find the cookie jar.
So stupid.
I stole the cookie jar that had the clock on it.
I stole the cookie jar that had a... It's very musical the way he
Very
says it.
I
better-esque.
stole the cookie jar that had the clock on it.
Yeah, he's got new teeth. He can barely talk. He managed to utter like 3 lines when they have all 6 friends in the one room during the reunion, and that's one of the 3 lines he can spill.
You can hear his teeth chattering and almost falling out at the end. Did
I stole the cookie jar that had the clock on it.
you hear it right in the beginning?
I stole the cookie.
That little drop there, that was his teeth falling out, just saying. I'm serious.
Serious?
Oh, it's science fair.
Does not sound like Diane Sawyer at all.
Oh, my God.
It's so weird. When I hear that now, I never hear Diane Sawyer.
What's the third one?
Oh, science fair. That's science for
Oh,
you.
it's science fair.
That's science for you.
Science for you.
Oh, it's science fair.
I love how surprised he is. What a great actor. A really good actor, man.
Oh, and he has such an incredible house. That house is beautiful. I mean, it's amazing. He's got this beautiful view. He's got all the money in the world. He's got these incredible cars, incredible everything.
It's so beautifully decorated.
I stole the cookie jar that had the clock on it.
That's sitting in the kitchen.
That just sounds like the dumbest plot, too.
And in the bathroom.
I stole the cookie jar with a clock on it.
Okay, Trudy, you love Friends. Does that mean anything to you as a Friends viewer?
No,
Yeah,
I have no awareness of the cookie jar with the clock on it.
The cookie
By the way,
jar with a clock on it.
You really couldn't
stole
pick.
the cookie jar.
You couldn't pick two.
I stole the cookie jar that had the clock on it.
That took everything out of him to get that line out.
So neat.
Everything. I mean, he shut up for like the next 30 minutes.
You needed a trip to the
ECMO machine.
after that. He was so winded and out of it and had no oxygen.
Those two words, cookie jar and
Cookie jar.
clock, are like the hardest ones to say if you're like, drunk or
Matthew Perry.
high or have teeth
There's
missing.
something.
If you took something like
55, I cannot
Yes. Exactly.
There's something. This is really weird. There's something strangely lovable about him, and that he's not together.
Sure. Yeah.
Because here's Jennifer Aniston going, "I'll never put anything in my face. I'll never have any plastic surgery. I'm just going to look this good all the time, no matter what, because I'm so incredibly good looking and special, and I keep track of every nutrient that I put in my body because I care so much, and I work out so hard. I broke my body at one point.
very easy.
Works
answer
out
to
so
that.
hard. She looks so beautiful. And Courtney Cox looks so wonderful. And Lisa Kudrow, I think, is less of a perfectionist, but she looks just fine.
Right.
And then there's Schwimmer and Matt LeBlanc, who, LeBlanc is heavier and he's older, but he looks together. I mean,
Sure. Yeah.
and here's Matthew Perry, who is not together in any way, shape, or form. He can't even dress himself, for Christ's sake.
Yep.
God.
I mean, is there something
yes.
likable about that?
He's more relatable. Like anybody
No,
can go.
he is.
Yeah,
He
if I
is.
had that much money, I could see needing to be put on the ECMO machine or doing 55 IQ.
He's a total disaster area.
Get a load.
He had everything. He doesn't even remember 3 seasons. He was so fucked up. But fortunately, he was young enough and sharp enough he could sputter those lines out somehow. And so the show ends. Next thing you know, he's wrecking cars. He's in rehabs. He's a wreck. He's a disaster.
Wow.
And of course,
it's science for you.
he never has a relationship. And his book was terrible. God, it was he's so full of shit.
Whoppers and one-liners. I love that book. It's awesome. That honestly is one of the best celebrity memoirs.
It's really funny.
So stupid.
Jeez.
He thinks he's so funny.
Yeah.
And I can't believe he's related to Keith Morrison from Dateline. That blows my mind.
That's really weird.
Or he's not blood related, but right, he's his stepfather, wasn't he?
Yeah, it's pretty clear that there's something very troubled in his family,
Sure.
in his upbringing, and he's not over it.
He's
and
relatable.
he doesn't complain about it all the time, but it shows every time he leaves the house.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He's wearing it. Oh my God.
No, I mean, honestly, he's just very mixed up. He needs a woman, obviously. He can't seem to hold on to a woman.
Does not want to get in the middle of that mess. Yikes.
Yeah, I think a lot of women do want to get in the middle of that mess, but
mean-
he said at one point he was dating Julia Roberts, and didn't he break up with her because he knew she was going to break up with him?
Yeah, he did say
That's
that,
what he
which-
said.
That makes
And
that new girl even more interesting because she looks like Julia Roberts and Jennifer Aniston.
He does, but the fact is, Julia Roberts would have broken up with him eventually
Yes.
because she would have seen what a mess he is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, in a way, he's very self-aware
Yeah.
by
Yeah.
dumping her
Yeah.
because he got to be the dumper, so that adds to his win-loss record as far as dumped or dumper, being the dumper or the dumpee. His win-loss record was improved by that.
That's ridiculous.
I think some people keep track.
Well, he dumped Julia Roberts too. That's a huge
That's
dump.
what I was talking about.
Yeah.
That was a huge dump.
That's
yeah.
a meaningful dump.
A huge dump.
And then that's a big win. That's like Jenkins beating Gibson back in the days when the Cubs and the Cardinals had that rivalry. He dumped. There was another girl he dumped that had the baby that called him when he was in his car and said, "Oh my God, I just had a baby 10 minutes ago." And he talked to her for 45 minutes. And that story is such a fabrication. It's total whopper because who would have a baby with someone else who was the love of his life at one time, and she thinks 10 minutes later, I've got to call Matt Perry. I've got to call Matt Perry. And then he pulls over the side of the road and weeps for 45 minutes because it could have been his.
That is such a bullshit story.
He wept and sobbed for 45 minutes in his convertible.
45 minutes.
For 45 minutes?
Yeah, for 45 minutes. About 45 minutes.
My colon exploded.
His colon exploded.
I still have the book. I only read half of it. I've got to dig out more of that book.
Is there talk about him writing a sequel? Or writing
I hope so.
The end.
He's got more one-liners, Trudy, more stories to tell, right?
Maybe he can remember
Definitely true.
some of those lost seasons.
You know what? I didn't really read about the date. Maybe there's some good details in the date story. Hold on.
That it
It's
lasted
bound to be with Matt Perry.
several.
It's only a lunch date.
Oh, really?
They had dinner. The food didn't matter.
Matthew Perry was spotted enjoying a date with a mystery brunette on Sunday as the pair went for lunch at the celeb haunt Nobu in Malibu in California.
Where you have to be seen.
It was a rare sighting for the 54-year-old front star who was pictured intimately placing his hand. Oh, it was not intimate at all. She was as far away as she could get without being touched by him. On the back of his female companion while ushering her towards the valet stand. Matthew, who's been open about his battle with drink and drugs, was dressed smart and casual for the...
Smart and casual?
What?
Dumpy, more like.
The actor has been single since ending his engagement to Molly Hurwitz in June 2021 after 3 years of dating. His outing comes amid a new report that his pals are concerned about him smoking 2 to 3 packs of cigarettes a day
there you
and
go.
loading up on burgers and fries despite having a professional trainer and nutritionist at his disposal. His friends went, let's see. Meanwhile, Matthew wore dark pants, shades, a white blouse, and blue jeans at their expensive meal.
What?
She bared a resemblance to Perry's famous ex-girlfriend, Julia Roberts, who he split from in 1996 after a 5-month fling. The pickleball enthusiast fell for the 55-year-old Oscar winner both figuratively and literally after her guest starring gig on an episode of the hit sitcom Friends. Dating Julia Roberts has been too much for me. I've been constantly certain she was going to break up with me, Matthew wrote his 2022 memoir, Friends, Lovers, and the Big Terrible Thing. Why would she not? I was not enough. I could never be enough. I was broken, bent, unlovable. So instead of facing the other agony of losing her, I broke up with the beautiful and brilliant Julia Roberts.
Nah, she probably knew he was on the stuff.
Oh, for sure.
Look at his hair in this close-up. First of all, it's not even at all. Who is cutting his fucking hair?
Oh my God.
It looks terrible.
It's like fuzzy and oily, and there's sebum.
It's not the same length. No,
There's
it's
totally
loaded
sebum.
with sebum.
Oh, gross.
No, it is the greasiest, most sebum-filled head
There
of
he-
hair I've ever seen
there
since
he is
John
at the-
Tower.
John Tower, there is the valet.
You can see the spot from here, way back past the valet stand.
It looks great.
I mean,
Looks great.
there's no effort to style his hair at
No,
all.
he doesn't
It's
give a
just
shit.
blowing in the wind. It's just blowing everywhere.
It kind of seems like he just rolls over, gets out of bed, and that's what it is.
Yes, goes to the mall for an outfit.
He doesn't. That guy doesn't sleep in a bed. He peels himself from the carpet, Trudy.
No, and wait,
Is that his Lambo? That's a sweet Lambo there.
what kind of a shave job is that on his face? His sideburns are not even.
They're like patchy. and
Yeah, it's just like he's just growing beard where it will
Randomly,
grow.
yeah.
It's just totally rando.
Jeez.
Oh, Matthew.
Just pitiful. I mean,
But
Look at him. He looks ridiculous.
why did he insist on
There's a
dating?
girlfriend in the distance.
You know-
Look at that. They're going to the car at different times.
you know who he's starting to look like, though? Who's the actor who played Cannon?
Oh, William Conrad.
Starting to look like William Conrad. I swear to God.
Wait, why did that girl go to the car a minute after he
Separately?
did?
I don't know.
What the fuck was that?
That was really weird.
Does she not want to be seen with Matthew Perry?
I don't know. She was standing way off to the side there.
Why is he dating a girl that's like 30 when he's 54 and he looks 80? I mean, seriously, that's just a bad idea.
Yeah.
That's my favorite picture.
Which oh God.
Here you go. It's this
okay.
it's this William Conrad. That's Matthew Perry.
Canon.
Looks like Cannon. A couple years he'll be Cannon. Then he can be Cannon on TV.
The SAG award winner was paid in the mid-seven figures to detail his extensive history of alcohol and drug abuse in his 256-page New York Times best-selling tell-all. Matthew received a Champion of Recovery Award in 2013 for opening sober living home Perry House, which is since closed.
What? Wait, what?
No.
Fucked up his sober house,
Oh,
too.
Matthew.
Has also battled
He's also
addictions to methadone and amphetamines. Perry's last acting gig is conservative talking head Dan Pockhetty in Adam McKay's dismally reviewed 2021 climate change comedy Don't Look Up was cut from the final film. Oh, God.
from the movie.
Wait, the movie was dismally reviewed and his part was cut?
Wow,
That's
I
not
think that
good.
movie was nominated for stuff, but he was
Yeah.
cut.
I got through 10 minutes of it.
Yeah, it's a little ridiculous.
Bad.
Audiences have not seen the whole 9 yards alum acting on screen since the
The whole
executive
9 yards alum, that movie, that piece of shit
it's
movie.
terrible. Since the executive produced and starred as Ted Kennedy in the two-part miniseries The Kennedys after Camelot, which aired in 2017 on Reels. Matthew famously earned an eye-popping $24 million to play Chandler Bing between 2002 and 2003 on Friends, which ran for 10 seasons on NBC, spanning.
I stole the cookie jar that had the clock on it.
Yeah, we know Matthew. We know that's what you did on Friends. Great.
Okay, I have to see comments just to see, am I really being unfair? Let's see.
No.
Saunter from Wellington, New Zealand says,
You know you're not being unfair. You just want people to pile on with you.
he looks a mess. Sad, really. Poor guy's a mess. Just close the comments. Please close the comments. With some luck, she's his Narcotics Anonymous sponsor. Oh, God. Which is bigger, his boobs or the two in the White House? God.
Okay.
She bared a slight resemblance to Julia Roberts. I think that should either be she bore a slight resemblance or in the current tense, she bears a slight what?
Oh, they're picking on the grammar of the article.
Man going bald, shocker. Why does he always look like a giant slob?
Well, it's easy.
He is,
5 Viking a day.
5 fucking in a day.
he is definitely punching above his weight with her. He looks rough. Looking for a nurse purse. He needs one now. A nurse purse?
What's a nurse purse?
Don't know. What is that?
I don't know.
That's someone you need after.
My colon
Right.
exploded.
Dude, just because you have a boatload of money is no excuse to run around looking and acting like a homeless person. Get your act together. That's embarrassing.
It is.
What a disaster. Hope his health is better than his appearance. It's so sad. Can't anyone get through to his trauma and help him heal it?
Oh.
Fame didn't do him. Jennifer or Courtney Fame didn't do him, Jennifer or Courtney any favors. The others we seem to have remained grounded without resorting to substance misuse or drastic surgery. Proof that women chase money. Doesn't he look a mess? Had it all, and most of it went up his nose. What a waste.
Jeez.
He really needs to figure out how to fix himself.
Brutal.
Doesn't matter what shape he's in, he's rich and famous. He'll have women waiting around the block for him. Think of the shopping and flexing. He looks homeless. She looks like Julia Roberts. He clearly has a type. What a mess he's turned out. Yep, the comments are pretty unfair.
And pretty brutal.
She looks more like Jen.
A nurse purse is a woman, a situation in her 50s or older, highly capable, financially comfortable, healthy, and has been married before. So it's just an independent woman.
Wow.
He looks like Jack Nicholson from the back.
He does. Oh, it's
Yeah.
a really good comparison.
He has huge love handles. Yuck.
I know.
Yuck. Yuck.
She must have a thing for crazy guys who provide TMI.
What is he providing too much TMI on?
Too much information. to
Oh,
talk
things
about
like
his
this?
old
I
girlfriend.
stole the cookie jar that had the
Yeah.
clock on it.
Yeah. That's not even interesting information. Neither is the
ECMO machine.
I swear that cookie jar thing, the funniest thing about it is if you saw it in real time was how
The other
active
people?
the other group was in terms of exchanging, and that's all he could get out. Because he had like new dentures or something. He could barely fucking talk. He was a mess.
Give him some credit, though. He fought through it and got that one
Did.
line out.
He got a big one-liner in.
And two of the hardest words to spit out in that
Yeah.
condition. So, wow.
Wow, he's just given up on himself, hasn't he?
Yeah, so is everybody else. He's giving up on him. Poor guy.
Oh, this
Can't
is
someone
sad.
at least dress him properly?
He doesn't want to be dressed properly. That's what he wants to wear. Get off his back. He seems happy to me.
Matthew Perry sighting, like he's a rare endangered animal.
Well, he kind of is.
Oh, man.
harsh?
I mean, give him
Yeah.
credit. He's alive, right? He's out and about. He's doing stuff.
Yeah, he's trying.
banging
He's
that
going
chick.
on a date. I mean, he actually reached her back barely, but he got it on her back.
Left nicotine
was pretty hot.
fingerprints on it.
Probably. Maybe that's why she's trying to get away.